The Judgment Day sent a message loudly and clearly to the rest of the WWE roster a week ago when Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest joined new member Finn Balor in a shocking beatdown of Edge. Tonight, the newly revamped, potentially more dangerous trio addressed the motivations for their actions. Theirs was not the only promo segment scheduled for the broadcast, as Seth Rollins took to the mic to discuss his despicable assault on Cody Rhodes. Those two heel-heavy segments headlined a broadcast that continued the march toward the Saturday, July 2nd Money in the Bank pay-per-view event. What else went down, and what effect did it have on the flagship show ahead of one of the most popular extravaganzas of the year? Find out now with this recap of Monday Night Raw. For this is Ridiculously Raw. Welcome, everybody, to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube and StreamYard.com. Today, I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined as always by good old MF Michael Fletcher and the Phenom Michael Bullock, fresh off another one of our legendary Raw chats. Or I should say a very nervous Michael Bullock right about now. But anyways, tonight, very simple what we're going to do, as we always do. Big show here tonight, as we will run down Monday Night Raw, of course. And then from there, in a very special Tony's Take, I will run down what I believe should be the final card for this Sunday's Impact Wrestling Slammiversary pay-per-view, which will be celebrating the 20-year anniversary of Impact Wrestling. And then time permitting, we'll have bonus commentary, because right now we have pivotal Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Michael Bullock's Boston Celtics squaring off against the Golden State Warriors, Chase Center, San Francisco. Celtic fans not looking good right now. 82-74 Golden State in the fourth quarter. It's a little early in the fourth, so we're not gonna, go into the bonus commentary yet. But if it's warranted, then we will definitely get into it. I'm hoping it will be, but we'll have to wait and see. So we will definitely, most assuredly, keep an eye on it. So that's all there is to say on that. So let's get into Monday Night Raw, of course, live from the Intrust Arena in Wichita, Kansas, exclusively on the USA Network. We started it off with a Miz TV segment, and the Miz's guest, believe it or not, it was Paul Heyman, which was interrupted by Riddle. Of course, Riddle with the biggest match of his career this upcoming Friday night on SmackDown, when he challenges Roman Reigns for the undisputed Universal Championship. And it was announced during this that Roman Reigns put a caveat on this match. And Heyman announced that if Riddle does not win the title, if Riddle loses to Roman on Friday night, then for as long as Roman Reigns is the champion, Riddle will no longer be allowed to challenge for the undisputed Universal Championship. So that's the story there. So typical so-so segment there. It was a fine segment. So we're not going to dive too far into that, but we will get into this though. One-on-one match, Montez Ford versus Jimmy Uso, and Jimmy Uso wins the match in an even 13 minutes. All right, one of the few good fights of the night here. Match was really strong, with Ford standing out as a guy ready to make the jump to the next level of competition. He's putting on the muscle. His in-ring game is as good as it has ever been, and management is providing him opportunities to showcase himself. He did not win here, but he probably should not have. The Usos need some momentum after dropping recent matches, and a singles win on a fluke lift of the knees hardly hurts the Street Profits. Would it have been nice for WWE to exist the urge to fall into the 50-50 booking that dominates its creative? Sure, but there was no harm nor foul with the outcome of this one. And the revelation in the opening promo that Riddle cannot challenge for Roman's title again if he should lose on Friday night is a great addition to the match that heightens the stakes and will most assuredly draw viewers to the broadcast on Friday night. So I'm going to give it a solid 3.5 stars. A great way to start it off. So not much more to say. MF, as if the match couldn't be any more bigger and high stakes come Friday night. This is a one-time only opportunity for the original Bro. If he loses, that's it. One and done. No more title shots. Back it's the end of the line for him. But Jimmy Uso knocking off Montez Ford in an even 13 minutes. Great match.
Yeah, no. As far as that goes, yeah, I could easily give it about 3.25, 3.5 stars. I thought it was an excellent match. Good body of work. Yeah, it's good that the Usos do get the win here, or that they get some kind of momentum. Obviously, they don't really necessarily have to end the rivalry, and it looks like the Prophet should get yet another opportunity at some point down the line. But at the end of the day, I think they did the right thing by giving that win that way. Body of work wise and everything else, it was solid. It was good. There was really nothing bad about it. So that's why I'm kind of like very uh, you know apropos about it. So I mean, there was nothing bad. I thought they did a great job. I thought they did solid work here. So yeah, I mean, it was a solid opener. And yeah, as far as Riddle goes, I could see where um, they could do a dusty finish where Riddle wins the match, doesn't win the belt, and they could have him continue to go after him because obviously they want to give Riddle an opportunity to go after the title again by having him win the match. Obviously Roman won't lose the belt. Like that would be there's no way they're gonna let him lose the belt. But I think there's a scenario where Riddle wins the match but does not win the belts. Where they could open the door and do a rematch here. I just don't see them closing the door on Riddle and his aspirations to try to win to try to get the Universal title. I just don't see that. I think by doing that, you would really stunt the momentum of Riddle. Riddle's is having a career year right now, trying to work his best, and I really think he deserves an opportunity. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. So, Mike Bullock, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I definitely could see this rivalry. I mean, I can see it the way you're saying it, Fletch. So 3.25, 3.5, and yeah, I mean a nice victory here for the Usos. Excuse me. I mean, it definitely gives the Usos some momentum, and yeah, and I love the caveat during the Miz TV segment where, like you said, if Riddle loses, then he can't challenge Roman again for the title as long as he's champion. So, but I can definitely see them turning to that where Riddle wins, but by disqualification, which would open the door for a rematch. So we'll wait and see how it goes. So segment was fine. The match was 3.25, 3.5. So Florio, it's yours.
All right. Then from there we had. All right. Then we had a sit down interview backstage. Kevin Patrick with an interviewing Seth Rollins, and it was announced during that Seth Rollins would be going 1-on-1 with the phenomenal AJ Styles in a men's Money in the Bank qualifying match. It was continued excellence from the Visionary, whose character work is nearing the consistent greatness of his in-ring work. He is convincing because his character fully believes everything he says. He is equal parts antagonistic genius and delusional villain. He is believable, and that is the result of how much he throws himself into his on-screen persona. Then we had Dana Brooke, who was originally scheduled to defend the 24/7 championship against Becky Lynch, but it was a trap because Becky Lynch absolutely went to town on Dana Brooke. Oh my goodness, did she go to town on Dana Brooke? And then she said and then she got on the mic and said, "I never wanted a shot at the 24/7 championship," which is, of course, because we know how far below her that is. I've been telling you guys that, especially Bullock, but anywho, then interrupted by Asuka, and there's definitely some unfinished business with those two, and then from there we had a women's tag team women's Money in the Bank qualifying match for 2 spots. We had Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan squaring off against Nikki ASH and Doudrop. Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan win the match, 4 minutes and 25 seconds. Now, MF, obviously, we're not going to talk about the match because the match was about maybe 1.5 to 2 or so in a so-so match. But Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan, along with Lacey Evans, so far for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, not only that, guys, but I think we got ourselves a new tag team in WWE. I could actually see Alexa and Liv working together. There was a little bit of some talk about them two possibly working together, possibly becoming a new tag team. And I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, I don't know, is that a good idea?" But now they're saying yes, that it actually is, and it looks like WWE is actually going to go there and is looking to pull. So yeah, if they actually do Alexa and Liv together, which, look, Alexa's the perfect person to have. She is a multi-time WWE Women's Tag Team Champion. Of course, Liv right now is one of the most over people right now in the company. So to have these two working together, I think would actually be I guess you would say a dream, an incredible dream. And I mean, you're talking about two of the, and now this could get me in trouble, but I don't give a damn. But you're talking about two of the most loveliest gals on the Monday Night Raw roster. 2 stunning beauties. Yes, Alexa is married. Congratulations to one of my good buddies, Ryan Cabrera. Lucky son of a gun. And I gotta say it, these two together, I mean, that could be a dynamic tag team, man. I mean, Liv and Alexa, you're talking about 5 Feet of Fury, and of course with Liv, her style, her attitude, and what she brings to the table. I mean, they're not going to be the strongest out of there, but their speed, their agility, their wrestling knowledge and know-how, they could definitely, if WWE decides to bring back the WWE Women's Tag Team titles, which obviously a lot of people don't believe it's going to happen anytime soon, but if they decide to bring them back, this might be the perfect candidates to run your women's tag team division. Have these two with the belts. So nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, I give it to you as, we now have 3 out of the 8 spots filled for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match.
7.
Oh, 7. No, I thought it would have been 8.
Yeah, I definitely get to see this this working as a tag team with Liv and Alexa. But we'll wait and see how it goes with that. I mean, yeah. So there's really nothing more for me to say. I mean, now you got Alexa and Liv Morgan joining Lacey Evans in this women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Yeah, so there's really nothing more for me to say. So I give it to you, Florio.
Yeah, like I said, the match was so, like a 2-star effort, maybe at best. But I'll tell you what, MF makes a very valid point, and it was interesting Bliss and Morgan showed great tag team chemistry as they overcame the onslaught of their driven opponents to score the win. It was interesting to see WWE decide 2 qualifiers in tag team actions, but it was also a nice twist on the formulaic manner in which the company typically goes about filling out the field for the annual ladder matches. There are clearly no plans whatsoever to take women's tag team wrestling seriously, which is a massive disappointment, in that Bliss and Morgan are a tandem that could very easily carry the tag team titles for months to great fanfare. And as it is, both Bliss and Morgan become immediate favorites to win the Money in the Bank briefcase and re-enter women's title contention. That Bianca Belair as a babyface makes the likelihood that either wins or cashes in less likely, but they should both be on the short list of potential winners. So, and you noticed Alexa Bliss entered the arena, interrupting the closing moments of the Asuka and Lynch stare down, and potentially foreshadowing a future program with Big Time Bex. Let's not forget, who was the woman who beat Becky Lynch to win her very first women's title? That was Alexa Bliss. When Alexa Bliss won her very first women's championship, the SmackDown Women's Championship, TLC 2016, the tables match, Alexa Bliss beat Becky Lynch for it. So, hasn't really been explored since, but who knows? We'll see. So, all right. Then from there, Kevin Owens versus Ezekiel. Ezekiel wins the match via a countout in 8.5 minutes. And Michael Bullock, you heard what happened. You heard what Ezekiel said after the match. He said that Elias is coming to Raw next week, and that he's going to remind the entire world that WWE stands for
Walk with Elias. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, part of me thinks that we will see Elias, but another thing, I wonder if this could be another setup by Ezekiel just to make Kevin Owens look like a fool. So we'll wait and see. I mean, it's yours, Florio. I mean, part of me wants to say yes, but I don't know.
Yeah. 2.5 stars for the effort. I mean, the match was fine for what it was, but it was definitely a step down from their bout at Hell in a Cell. The chemistry is there, but the commercial break in the middle of it hurt its flow, and the ending felt somewhat abrupt and from out of nowhere. The post-match revelation from Ezekiel that his brother Elias will return to Raw next week gives fans a hook for next Monday night, but also begs the question, how will WWE pull this off? However they do it, hopefully it comes in a segment that is surprisingly entertaining, much like the story arc has been against all odds. So that's really all there is to say there. 2.5 stars for the effort. So MF, quick thought?
Yeah, as far as them trying to get the Elias thing more than anything else, the only thing I could think of is maybe him coming out on a monitor, the big Titantron, at the arena, and maybe do something like that. I mean, I don't know how they're gonna be able to do it unless they use stock footage from the past for them. But all I can say is right now, yeah, this is going to be very interesting to see. The match itself was 2.5 stars. It wasn't as great as I thought it was going to be. I thought it could have been a lot more better. But at the end of the day, I thought they did a fine job for what they did. So, yeah, it was a little bit of a step down from Hell in a Cell. But still, I thought they did a very, admirable job under the circumstances. So, Anthony, back to you.
All right. I'm going to make a decree right here and now. Barring anything out of the ordinary, I'm not even going to bother with the bonus commentary at this point, unless something out of the ordinary happens, which I really don't think it's going to. But you never know. But we'll see. But for right now, but there will be a Celtics chat though, when all is said and done. So Stay tuned for that. Continuing on here, MVP versus Cedric Alexander. MVP won the match, 1 minute and 40 seconds. Yeah, we're not going to waste time on that. But we are going to address this, though. Seth frickin' Rollins versus AJ Styles in a Money in the Bank qualifying match. Winner of the match in 15 minutes and 5 seconds. And qualifying for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, it is Seth frickin' Rollins. Clean win. There's no doubt about it. This was hands down the fight of the night. I'm going to give it a solid 4 stars. Physical encounter that saw Styles tweak his knee late and Rollins take advantage, grounding the former WWE champion with a chop block. Styles weathered the storm and all that, but he avoided a frog splash. But in a contest that saw each man take considerable risk, often for the worst, it came down to a good old-fashioned reversal as Rollins countered a sunset flip into a roll-up for the win. This was as good as you would expect from these two. The action was great. The late match tease featuring Styles' calf crusher was uber dramatic, and Rollins so slyly pulling out the win with a simple roll-up reversal was superb. The best part is that WWE for once resisted the urge to have the heel go over through chicanery rather than proving he was the better wrestler. Rollins won because on this night, he out-wrestled one of the best of all time in the center of the ring. It backs up his claims and lends credence to his often rambling, proving he is every bit as great as he is over the top. Given his status as the centerpiece of the Raw brand, Rollins is immediately the favorite to win the Money in the Bank, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match come Saturday night, July 2nd. The finish was brilliantly executed with one wrestler dipping deep into his playbook after everything else failed to put his opponent away. Solid 4 stars, fight of the night, no question about it. MF, was there ever any doubt? You put 2 phenomenal talents, no pun intended, Rollins and Styles, high stakes match. Of course they deliver.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it. An incredible battle, incredible fight. And yeah, you could easily make an argument for fight of the night honors on this one, and it should deserve it. This was over 3.25 stars. I thought the body of work was amazing, and the action itself, and that's what it was. The action itself made this as unique, as incredible, and it really gave us it brought life, to say the very least. So yeah, at the end of the day, they did an incredible job with it. So there's really nothing more to add here. So yeah, Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, 4 stars is my rating for this match. I mean, this was a hands down the fight of the night. No doubt about it. I mean, these two can deliver a good match anytime, and that's what we saw right here. And Rollins winning it clean was just, I mean, it made it perfect, no doubt about it. So yeah, Rollins is the first to advance to the on the men's side of the Money in the Bank ladder match. So yeah, so it's yours, Florio.
All right. And then from there, Riddle, 1-on-1 with Ciampa. Riddle wins the match, 4.5 minutes. Do you guys want to address this, or do you just want to move on?
Look, it was good. It was good for Riddle to get the momentum win. But give it up for Ciampa. Ciampa, even in his limited amount of time that he had, I thought it was an okay performance. I liked what he was bringing to the table. Definitely trying to ground Riddle. Obviously, the outcome was never in doubt, but I thought Ciampa was pretty good. I thought he had a solid performance. This is one of those, Anthony, that you like to call fun little sprints, and that's exactly what I felt this was.
Agreed. About two on that one. So with that, let me see. Glorified enhancement match. It continued the unsatisfactory use of Ciampa, but did manage to put Riddle over strongly and definitively, given the effort and contributions that have gone into making a star of the original Bro over the last year, beating a guy who made the jump from NXT as one of that brand's icons, but has yet to receive anything resembling a push, was the right call. And then we had an in-ring segment, Bianca Belair, in-ring interview with Kevin Patrick, interrupted by the Judgment Day. And all right, I'll say it like this. Judgment Day interrupting the promo. They cut more of the genetic foreboding promos that had become a staple of the group. Considering the fact that Finn Balor's arrival led to Edge's departure and he assumed the leadership role, the fact that he was not given anything of substance to say is a little concerning. Still, Rhea Ripley was given the most to say, and she knocked it out of the park, executing it to near perfection and creating anticipation for a showdown between her and her fellow NXT export, Belair. Their impending match at Money in the Bank might be one of the best women's matches of the year, even if WWE Creative really should reconsider ever presenting Judgment Day like it did tonight, especially coming off a hot angle. So I'll say it like that. Then we had, gentlemen, you can just chill because it's pretty much going to be cutouts the rest of the way, just like this game here. Mustafa Ali versus Chad Gable. Chad Gable wins the match, 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Nothing inherently wrong with that match, thanks to the above-average talent of Gable and Ali. The crowd was not particularly into it, nor should they have been. As good as the workers were, there was no rhyme or reason for the match to occur, and as a result, there was nothing for the audience to sink its teeth into. And worst of all, Ali continues his downward spiral, falling from number one contender for the U.S. title to losing the tag team specialist, Gable, relatively clean, minus a momentary distraction from Otis. So that's all there is to say there. Then we had Veer Mahan versus Rey Mysterio. Veer Mahan in 3 minutes and 45 seconds. If recent WWE trends are any indication, all that means is that the program will continue for another few weeks while overstaying its welcome and doing nothing to benefit either man. Mahan is a beast, but it's time to move him past the Mysterios and onto something a little more interesting than the one-dimensional rivalry he has been a part of to this point. Next week on Monday Night Raw, it was announced that Becky Lynch and Asuka will go one-on-one in a women's Money in the Bank qualifying match, and they're also hyping an Elias concert for next week. So we'll see how that goes. And then usually the main event is usually something really good, but unfortunately not in this case. Of all the things to put in the main event of this week's show, you gave us a super pose down. A super pose down between United States Heavyweight Champion Theory and Bobby Lashley. And just like the infamous super pose down at the 1989 Royal Rumble with the Ultimate Warrior and Ravishing Rick Rude, you remember the Warrior dominated that before Rude got a cheap attack in there. At the end of this, Theory with a cheap attack on Bobby Lashley, but anyways, that's really all there was. I mean, I told Bullet this during our Raw chat, and MF, I'm sure you would concur. I mean, I only wish we could have resurrected Mean Gene Okerlund from the dead and have him use that legendary catchphrase, that his legendary moment during that original Super Pose Down. It's the muscular montage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we needed.
Oh my goodness.
But Adam Pearce presided over it, and like Gorilla said to Jesse at WrestleMania 6 after the intermission with that Rona Barrett thing, it was nothing to speak of anyway. So
yeah, good.
So yeah, good is right. Celtics fans, I'm afraid I have some bad news. The Golden State Warriors have won Game 5, 104-94. The Golden State Warriors get the all-important 3-2 lead, and they will have a chance to close it out at TD Garden in Boston on Thursday night. Whereas the Celtics
Whoa!
must win
Wow!
to force a Game 7 on Sunday night.
Jeez, Bullock, tell us how you truly feel. Oh my goodness. Huh.
This show ended just like the Celtics' fourth quarter performance with a whimper. Yeah, 100% agree.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Bullock. You'll have your say in the Celtics chat coming up, and I know you're gonna have some very.
He's going. If that's an indication of what he's thinking or how he's feeling right now, buckle up your seatbelts, folks. It's about to get ugly in this building.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna have to duck under the table as usual when Bullock gets like this.
Oh yeah. All right. Let's get into the overall review here. I don't even know where to start.
It would have been me if I would have started it.
Okay.
I'm just gonna openly admit it. It's a 4 out of 10. It was a bad show.
Agreed.
Too many cutouts. There was a couple of here and there moments where, all right, Raw was decent, but they packed it in, guys. They're going up against the NBA Finals. We've already known and we already seen with a lot of the shows already that whenever they go up against the NBA Finals or even the Stanley Cup playoff, a lot of the shows kind of pack in a little bit. This is one of those nights where it just was not good at all. So for me, it was lackluster. It almost felt like they just were like, you know what? We're just going to pack it in for the night. We'll give you as much as we could. The first hour was solid. Like I said, there was a couple of here and there moments where they sprinkled it, where they were looking very good. But at the end of the night, there was really nothing to speak of. It was a bad night all the way around for Monday Night Raw, lackluster. And basically Michael Bullock kind of, with his little comment that he just said, pretty much summed up the whole night looked promising for certain points, but then just like he said in the fourth quarter, they just fell apart and down they went. And it's one of those, and it's an ironic thing because normally, like the Boston Celtics, normally they would have their moments where they're really good and whatnot, and normally the fourth quarter is where the Celtics would dominate. Unlike tonight, there's a lot of faces on milk cartons. Where the hell are you guys at? Because you didn't show up tonight. That's all I'm going to say about that.
More to come in the Celtics chat. Don't worry.
Yeah, more to come on the Celtics chat. More.
And I know MF will probably have. And MF, if you want to add some more insight on that, like I said the other night, you're more than welcome. So
yeah, I might have a little something, but I'm not gonna. But normally I kind of let you guys run this one. So this is more on you guys more than anything else. But Absolutely. It is what it is.
Yeah. So you're basically pulling the infamous Bret Hart not impressed meme, the 4 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I was thoroughly not impressed. As a matter of fact.
Me neither.
As a matter of fact, I was flipping between that. The NBA Finals, and there's a nice show on Discovery called Street Outlaws: America's List, and I was watching that more than I was watching Monday Night Raw tonight. That's pretty much that. When my attention is to other programming and not on Monday Night Raw, that's bad. That's not good. That is
not at all.
You could already tell if I tune out, if Florio tunes out, if Michael Bullock tunes out, you already know how bad of a night it already is. And we're three of the most loyal WWE guys in the room. And you can openly admit it. We kind of pulled a Derek Ferreira here.
Absolutely.
And we could easily rant, rave, go flipping crazy on Monday Night Raw. But the thing is that there were a couple of good moments. No, and that's the thing. There was a couple of good moments. The Rollins versus AJ fight. That was amazing.
Far and away fight of the night.
Far and away fight of the night. Yes, the Ezekiel versus Owens. Not as good as Hell in a Cell, but still solid enough.
And don't forget Ford and Uso.
Ford and Uso, solid. Riddle and Ciampa, fun little sprint. But the thing is that there was a lot of things that were missing that didn't bring it to the table, and that's what we need. We need consistency, and we're not getting it from Monday Night Raw. And the thing is, that's the most deepest roster on WWE today. This would be expected if it was from SmackDown Live, because SmackDown doesn't have the roster. We got a lot of guys out, either injured or whatnot, and Raw's got better talent, and you're only giving us 4 out of 10?
No excuse. I don't care who you're going against.
There's no excuse. There's no excuse. And on top of that, you got to watch out, because next Monday night, the Stanley Cup Final is happening.
Game 3.
One of the games is going to be on Monday night, Stanley Cup Final.
Game 3.
So you gotta step it up, WWE. Plus, on top of that, you're just a couple of weeks away from Money in the Bank, which is kind of become the unofficial 5th WWE major. Dave took over to what the King of the Ring was in the earlier years.
And John Cena's coming back.
And Cena's going to be back.
In 2 weeks.
You got to do something. You got to do something, WWE.
Don't wait for Cena. Don't wait for Cena.
No. Don't wait for Cena. Don't. Yeah. Nothing more to say. Bullock, it's yours. I'm off my high horse for the night.
And I'll even take it a step further regarding tonight. This Monday Night Raw was better than the Celtics' fourth quarter performance.
You're here.
That it was to me. I mean, Raw was still not a good show. I'll say it. It's a 4 out of 10. I'm with Fletch on this one, but I don't know what else is there to say on this. It's just a bad night all around. A bad Monday Night Raw. Celtics losing Game 5 after an impressive third quarter, and they just fell fucking flat in the fourth quarter. I mean, it's just, Florio, please take it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. We'll elaborate on that a great deal more in just a little bit on the Celtics chat, but which I hate to say it, there might have to be some discretion advised on that, but yeah, I'm right there with you. It's a 4 out of 10. Rollins and AJ fighting the night. Montez Ford and Jimmy Uso, second best fight of the night. Owens and Ezekiel rounding out the top 3, and a couple of fun little sprint with Riddle and Ciampa. Although that could have been a banger if they had given that time. They could have easily had a banger of a match there. And some here and there segments, but a lot of cutouts, and to end the main event and to end the show with a super pose down of all things. Oof. Oh gosh. I thought it couldn't get any worse than that infamous Triple H and Scott Steiner. Don't get me and MF started, because we sat through that almost 20 years ago, man. And that was back when MF and I were doing the Raw chats back in the day. And yeah, we couldn't believe that segment. And this one was even worse than that one. It made the Triple H and Steiner pose down the greatest one ever. Although that one was oofa. But it's a 4 out of 10. There's no doubt about it. So with that being said, let's get into a very special Tony's Take here. Let me try to lighten the mood up here a little bit. This upcoming Sunday night, Impact Wrestling will be celebrating its 20th anniversary. And it's going to take place this Sunday night from the fairgrounds in Nashville, Tennessee, It's the Fairgrounds, Nashville. That's where it's going to be. It'll actually be at the legendary Asylum in Nashville, Tennessee, with the show being held exactly 20 years to the day of Impact's very first event. Now, for those of you who may not know it, and Bullock, I know you don't, but I explained it to you a little bit during our Raw chat tonight. MF, you know this because you were with me, and as well as Derek Ferreira, because he was the one who got the ball rolling on it 20 years ago. When it first started, it was known as NWA TNA. And on June 19th, 2002, every Wednesday night, they did weekly pay-per-view shows. They did their shows on pay-per-view every week, $10 a week, 20 years ago. And now fast forward 20 years later, and here they are, about to celebrate their 20th anniversary. I'm not going to give you my predictions. Maybe I could give a small prediction. I don't have, formal notes or anything, but from the bottom to the top, here's what will take place this Sunday night at Slammiversary. Knockouts Tag Team Championship will be on the line as the champions, The Influence, Madison Rayne and Tennille Dashwood, will defend the titles against the randomly thrown together tag team of Rosemary and the Reina de Reinas champion, Taya Valkyrie. I think we might see new champions there. We'll see. Rich Swann will defend the Impact Digital Media Championship against Brian Myers. Get ready for what could be the show stealer. I think Swan's going to go over in that one. This next match, I believe, could be the show stealer of the night. And MF, you know how wild and crazy these matches can be. Sami Callihan versus Moose in a Monsters Ball match. Those two in Monsters Ball, that's gonna steal the damn show. I'm telling you. Tough. That's a tough call, but I'm gonna take a chance to go with Sami Callihan on that one. 10-man tag team match. Honor No More, Eddie Edwards, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, PCO, and Vincent squaring off against 5 Impact Wrestling originals. We have 3 announced. The Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, along with Frankie Kazarian. 2 other originals to be determined. We may not know until Sunday night who that is. And then we got an MF special. The Briscoe Brothers to defend the Impact World Tag Team Championships against the Good Brothers. Jay and Mark Briscoe versus Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. And that'll be for the Impact World Tag Team Championship. The first ever Queen of the Mountain match for the Impact Knockouts Championship. Tasha Steelz, the champion, defending against Chelsea Green, Deonna Purrazzo, Jordynne Grace, and Mia Yim. And Mickie James is going to serve as the special guest enforcer. Now, you know how the King of the Mountain matches work. The Queen of the Mountain match is going to serve under the same rules. You have to become eligible to hang the belt up. It's like a reverse ladder match. You know how in a ladder match, the objective is to take down the title? Well, in this match, your objective is to hang the title up. That's how you win. But you have to become eligible. If you get a fall, you become eligible. And the loser of the fall, just like in hockey, you go to the penalty box for 2 minutes. And then you're allowed out, and it keeps going on until one woman hangs up the Knockouts Championship. As far as who I think could win between the Impact Originals and Honor No More, my gut's telling me Honor No More, but we'll have to wait and see who the other originals are. I think the Briscoe brothers are going to successfully defend the World Tag Team titles against the Good Brothers. And as far as this Queen of the Mountain match goes, I'm going to take a chance here, and I'm going to say Mia Yim becomes the new Knockouts champion. Ultimate X match for the X Division Championship. Ace Austin versus Kenny King of Honor No More. Speedball Mike Bailey. Trey Miguel. MF, an old friend of yours, Jack Evans. And Alex Zane. I'm thinking Ace Austin here, but if there's going to be a new champion crowned, I think the best bet would be Speedball Mike Bailey. But then again, Kenny King could easily bring some gold to Honor No More. And then the main event of the evening for the Impact World Heavyweight Championship, Josh Alexander to defend against Eric Young. That's an easy one. Josh Alexander is gonna run away with that. He's gonna walk away with it. So that all goes down Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, on pay-per-view or on Fight TV. And I will have an exclusive recap of Slammiversary right here on this program in my Tony's Take next week. So you don't want to miss that. All right. Sorry, Bullock. Unfortunately, the time has come. It's now time for the Celtics chat to close it out. Tonight, pivotal Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Michael Bullock's Boston Celtics squaring off against the Golden State Warriors. The series was tied at 2 games apiece. The winner would take the all-important 3-2 lead into Game 6 at TD Garden in Boston on Thursday night. And like I said, unfortunately, Celtics fans, I'm afraid I got some bad news for you. Andrew Wiggins delivered the biggest game yet in his 8-year career. Andrew Wiggins delivering the biggest game yet in his 8-year career with 26 points and 13 rebounds. Klay Thompson scored 21 points, and the Golden State Warriors defeated the Boston Celtics 104-94 tonight to win Game 5 and for a 3-2 lead in this NBA Finals. Stephen Curry only had 16 points and 8 assists, but the all-time three-point leader, his NBA record streak of 132 straight postseason games with at least 1 3, ended, along with his NBA best run of 233 consecutive games with a 3 between regular season and playoffs combined. Exhibiting a determined confidence and grit all evening, Wiggins drove through the lane for an emphatic one-handed slam with 2:10 left to cap his brilliant performance on both ends. The best-of-7 series resumes in Boston on Thursday night, and if the Celtics can win at home, they will return to the Bay Area for a winner-take-all Game 7 on Sunday night. All 5 games so far have been decided by 10 or more points. Marcus Smart was whistled for a technical foul, then an offensive foul in a 1-second span early in the fourth. He overcame a slow start to score 20 points, while Jason Tatum had a double-double of his own, 27 points and 10 rebounds. Jordan Poole knocked down a 33-foot three from the left wing to beat the third quarter buzzer as the Warriors took a 75-74 lead into the final 12 minutes after the Celtics roared back in the third. Celtics found their own third quarter magic that has long defined Golden State's success in the second half. Boston trailed 51-39 at the break before charging back with a 35-point outburst in the third. Al Horford hit a go-ahead 3 with 6:28 left in the period, made it 58-55. As the Celtics finally found their shooting groove from deep, Grant Williams' three-point play at 3:55 gave Boston a 66-61 lead. That was Boston's 8th straight made 3 after missing the first 12. Jaylen Brown, 2 of 11 to start the game, finished with 18 on 5 of 18 shooting, missed all 5 of his three-point attempts. Tatum gave Boston its first three-pointer on the night, 4:34 before halftime, and the Celtics were 11 of 32 from deep overall. Golden State wound up 9 of 40 beyond the arc, Wiggins 0 of 6. Draymond Green, 8 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists before he fouled out with 3:01 remaining. So now let's go to the box score. One of our staples of the Celtics chat, starting with the Warriors. Andrew Wiggins, double-double, 26 points, 13 rebounds. Klay Thompson, 21 points for him. Stephen Curry, 16 points, 8 assists. Draymond Green, 8 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Gary Payton II, off the bench, 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 steals. Jordan Poole, 14 points. And let me tell you, that three-pointer and that big 3 at the end of the third, that changed the momentum. I'm telling you that right now. For the Celtics, Jason Tatum, double-double, 27 points, 10 rebounds. Marcus Smart, 20 points for him. Jaylen Brown, 18 points and 9 rebounds. Robert Williams III, 10 points, 8 rebounds. Al Horford, 9 points, 9 rebounds. The bench didn't really do much of anything, although Grant Williams had 3 points and 3 rebounds and 2 blocks. Nesmith had 3 off the bench. And Derek White only 1 point with 3 assists. And he had been very consistent off the bench before tonight. And finally, the team numbers. The Golden State Warriors, 41 of 88 from the field, 46.6% from the field. Celtics 31 of 75 for a field goal percentage of 41.3. 3-point shooting, Boston 11 of 32 for 34.4% from three. Golden State 9 of 40 from three, 22.5%. Free throw, this was another one of the killers here. The free throws. Golden State 13 out of 15, 86.7%. Boston 21 out of 31, 67.7% from the free throw line. Not going to get it done. Boston had the rebounding edge. 8-4 offensive rebounds, 39-35 defensive rebounds, overall 47-39 rebounding to the Celtics. Golden State won the assist battle 23-18. Warriors 9 steals, Celtics 2. Both teams had 2 blocks apiece, and this was the killer. The Celtics committed 18 turnovers, the Warriors only 7. 22-9 in favor of the Golden State Warriors in that department. That was a killer. 12-8 fast break points in favor of Golden State. 50-36 points in the paint for the Warriors. The Celtics committed 16 fouls, 2 technical fouls, including one on Coach Ime Udoka, and 28 fouls on the Warriors. Boston's largest lead was 5. Golden State's largest lead, 16. 104-94. The Golden State Warriors defeat the Boston Celtics, win Game 5. They're now up 3-2, and they can close it out in the TD Garden in Boston on Thursday night. And we will have a special edition of TXN Sports World. In addition to our preview of the Stanley Cup Final, we will also have we'll also get into some bonus commentary, and we'll see how it goes. So very simply put, Thursday night, Warriors win. They win the NBA championship once again, their first title since 2018. Celtics win. Then we go back to Golden State for a winner-take-all Game 7 on Father's Day night, Sunday night. So there isn't much more to say. Michael Bullock, I mean, I know you're as fired up as Macho King Randy Savage was after WrestleMania 6, but I know you're probably as fired up as he was, but I hope you've had time to at least calm down a bit. So I know it didn't go the way you wanted. I mean, we're right there with you. We want it just as much for you as you do, but unfortunately, the Celtics' back's against the wall, and unless they feast on that home cooking Thursday night, the Warrior Dynasty is back.
Tonight was just an absolutely atrocious. I mean, the thing is, that third quarter, I mean, the Celtics, I mean, they were right back in it, and they took the lead. And then the fourth quarter, they basically just fell flat on their faces.
That Jordan Poole 3 was the difference.
Yeah, that Jordan Poole 3 killed us. And I mean, this is just, yeah, you guys put yourself backs against the wall, and yeah, I mean, yeah, Florio, that edge wake up thing worked in the third quarter, but the fourth quarter, they didn't wake up. They went back to sleep, and basically took themselves out of any chance of winning this ball game. No doubt about it in my mind. So it's simple, Celtics. Win and you force a Game 7. Lose, and this magical run of yours is over. So I don't know what else is there to say, man. I mean, it was just a bad night all around. Bad Monday Night Raw. I mean, Celtics losing Game 5. I mean, it couldn't have gotten any worse, but it did. So I want to go off more, but I just can't do it. I mean, so nothing more to say. Just take it, Florio.
MF, do you have a quick thought as to what happened here tonight, and maybe a quick analysis about a little preview of Game 6 on Thursday. I'll take that as a no. But all right. I think that's their way of saying wrap it up. All right, we'll wrap it up. So that will put the bow on this unfortunate edition of this unfortunate and sad edition of Ridiculously Raw. I mean, not a good night tonight, but hopefully brighter days are coming. That's all there is to say on that. Brighter days will hopefully come. So we'll take tomorrow to recoup from it. But we'll be back on Wednesday night. Unfortunately, MF will not be with us due to work commitments beyond his control. So Bullock, you and me, you and I will be running the show on Wednesday night. I'm thinking maybe right after Dynamite on Wednesday night, if that's all right with you, 10 p.m. or so.
Yeah, that's good enough for me.
All right. So we'll do that. 10 p.m. It's back to our normal show, as we will have NXT 2.0 and AEW Dynamite. That'll be on tomorrow night, Wednesday night rather. And then Thursday night, MF will be back with us for a special edition of TXN Sports World, as we will preview the Stanley Cup Final, the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Colorado Avalanche. And then we'll get into some bonus commentary for Game 6 of the NBA Finals, the Golden State Warriors and the Boston Celtics. Celtics chat could be the final one. You don't know. Could be the final one, or it could be the penultimate one if the Celtics win. But that's all there is to say on that. So we'll do that on Thursday. Friday, MF will be back again. Cerebral Smack Talk. Friday Night SmackDown, of course, the big main event. Roman Reigns, Riddle, Universal Undisputed Championship, and AEW Dynamite. Or I should say AEW Rampage, rather. And we'll get into that on Friday. And if and only if there's a Game 7 of the NBA Finals, we will have a very special edition of TXN Sports World, as we'll probably start that around maybe 10:30, 11 or so, and maybe do some very special bonus commentary on that. And if it gets to a Game 7, then win or lose, it will be the final Celtics chat regardless. But that's only if we get to a Game 7 Sunday night. And then right back here next week for Ridiculously Raw for another Monday Night Raw review. Hopefully it'll be a better show. And then I'll also have my very special Tony's Take, my review of Slammiversary. So that's it. So until Wednesday night, for Wednesday Night Madness with myself and Bullock, right back here on the Tone 25 at 10 p.m. or so. Anthony Florio here for good old MF Michael Fletcher, and unfortunately a very despondent Michael Bullock, and rightfully so. And of course, we can't forget about the First Lady, Didi Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed couple of days. And until Wednesday night for Wednesday Night Madness, you've been watching Ridiculously Raw right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and StreamYard.com. And remember, my friends, no matter what anyone tells you beyond anything else, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long. Bye, everybody. Bye.